Hey, what's up, guys? Um, Today I'm gonna rip some of these side contests on Underdog. I've been pretty interested in kind of doing some of the Badge Bros brawls and the rookies and sophomores. I might rip something like a puppy, also do like a normal draft somewhere in there, but I'm gonna mainly be focusing on rookies and sophomores and Badge Bros brawl. Rookies and sophomores, I've done just under 50 of them. um, and there's just some different strategies and things I think you can play with in these formats that are kind of interesting, can give you kind of new build combos that, aren't the norm. And I don't know, I think you can find a lot of different ways to play these that are pretty viable, pretty interesting. Um, so I'll probably just start out, I'll just hop right into rookies and sophomores. Um, yeah, and then we'll rip one of those right away. And let me just log in. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, we're in the rookies and sophomores right now, and yeah, I'm gonna see what pick I get and stuff, but there's just some different strategies in these that I don't know. They seem kind of interesting. But I don't know. I'll talk a little bit more about it when it starts. It kind of depends where you are on the board, kind of what falls to you, but I think in this format, like grabbing some of these top RBs, making sure you don't get locked out at QB, those are just some of the basic things like to worry about at the beginning of your draft, especially. Wide receivers pretty deep, but I don't like to fully push it. Like I want some in this mid range to really get that ceiling still. Um, but it is a pretty deep position. Running back, there's good scroll down options in this format. So I mean that's pretty cool. Like you can scroll down to a Shipley, Braylon, Jalen Wright. Those guys get drafted some of the time, but then you can go down like Jarquez, Lloyd, Corum, Taj Brooks, JCM, Devin Neal, Trevor Etienne, Jordan James. Like those guys are barely getting drafted at all, so they could be low on leverage as well. So there's just a lot of different kind of twists in this format that you can I don't know, you can do to kind of play with different roster builds and stuff. Typhal Tower, what's good, Hartman? Hey, what's good, Typhal Tower? I assume emo cowboy. Hey, what's good? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Appreciate it. Um, See, I mean, I'm mostly I'm ripping the rookies and sophomores right now, and then probably some of the Badge Bros brawls as well. I don't know, those new formats are just really interesting to me. And the advancement structure in them, it's pretty good in the first round. Obviously, you're getting a 25% advancement structure. And there are some like tricks you can do to like with it being such a high advancement already, you can do some stuff if you really pay attention to the board to kind of hurt some other teams in your room in these. So you can get really good first round advancement. And then the next rounds are pretty tough. I do think you can build pretty solid teams most of the time in this, but it is tougher advancement after that. But I think out of the first round, you can really help yourself have a very, very high first round advancement. Um, so here with the first three picks, I always just go like it's either Genty, Daniels, Neighbors. Sometimes I think I've taken Bucky there before because running back is a little more scarce and see like he double taps. So that does kind of hurt taking Neighbors, but I do think Neighbors is a tier above. What I'll do here is I'll grab the first QB, and I could have grabbed like Brian Thomas there, which I think would have been a fine pick, but I want to make sure that there's no chance I'm really boxed out at QB. Um and I think here I'll and like I said earlier too, like this position's pretty deep. In a couple rounds we're still looking at wide receivers that go like around 80, 90 range. I'm in a regular draft. Um so I think here we'll take Caleb, and then because they already have two RBs and I want an RB here with my next pick. But I want to make sure I'm secured at quarterback, and now I can kind of just focus on receiver and running back while the rest are catching up at quarterback. Um And one thing like I was talking about, so there's still 3 quarterbacks available. So for right now, I'll just go with RJ Harvey, pair him up with Bo Nix. and that feels pretty good there. Like, I do like, Tet McMillan a lot too, but I think getting my RB1 there, RB's a little bit of a thinner position. If I get Trevion or something, that'd be really good. But, the one thing to keep an eye on is, like, Cam Ward is the last starting QB available, right? And this team has Drake May, this team has Jaden Daniels. Um, I could take Cam Ward. I'm gonna take Cam Ward. That way, both of them only have one starting QB on their team, and when the bye week comes, they're at high risk of taking a 0 that week, because they're gonna have to they could get Shuck. He might be starting, but if he's not, then their teams can be in real trouble those weeks. So we'll take Ricky as a bring back on my Chicago. That feels pretty good there. Obviously, that's double week 14, but we're gonna get a lot of receivers, so that's fine. Um, but yeah, that QB room now it is heavy capital at QB, but it significantly hurts two of the teams in the room, especially if they can't cover this bye, especially the Drake May team. If they don't get Tyler Shuck, then they can't really cover his bye with anyone because it's only like the Giants guys, unless they hit the right Cleveland piece or like Milrow. But they're on a very thin bet to cover their bye week if they don't get Shuck. And even if they get Shuck, it's not like a sure thing. Um, So I think here I'm probably looking at running back. I would have grabbed Scadaboo there since he's gone. I'll take the stack since I already have a game stacked with Ricky. Um, and like I like Amika, I like Higgins, but I'm fine. I'm fine if they go. Yeah, because I can still get Keon or Trey Harris. I mean, I don't really think I have anything with either of them. Those are just kind of my favorite two picks. Uh, We'll grab Keon. I don't know. I've been a little bit warming up on him. He's getting some good camp reports like a couple weeks ago. And, just second year, he's a first round pick, really high scoring offense. I think he could have an okay year. Um, oh, sorry. Uh, oh, guilty Mokawe. What's up? Thanks for stopping by, bro. JT Best Ball, what up, my man? Hey, what's up, JT? Thanks for stopping by. Uh, sorry, I was ignoring the chat a little. These are super quick. Uh, Tyler, boosted with some extra likes while I knock out some work, Crusher brother. Hey, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by. Fantasy Football Garage. What's up, dog? Hey, what's up, bro? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Um, I've got a few Jaden Bucky Hampton starts feels overpowered. WT so deep. Jaden Bucky. Yeah. Yeah, no. That's like a really nice start because yeah, sometimes especially Hampton will fall. Getting Bucky to fall that far, that's like super nice. Um, so here I have 3 picks left. Uh, I could grab Tyler Warren. I'm gonna grab Jaden Blue. I'm just gonna grab probably 3 running backs in a row. I know he's getting some bad camp speak right now, but just when you look at the upside of these guys, I mean, I think he clearly has the most upside of the guys left in this. So I'm still picking him easily in rookies and sophomores. So I guess Brashard Smith, I mean, he kind of ties in with some of the stacks I have, and he has some good upside, so we'll just grab him there too. With this, I'm just kind of trying to grab like just a little bit later on guys. If I can get some kind of stacking, like that had some stacking, I'll do it. Um, but if not, I'll just kind of pick my favorite guys. Like I like Taj Brooks, his ADP is 48 on the dot. He's barely getting selected. So I'll just throw him on here. Obviously, his RB room is very thin. I didn't really realize the week 10 buy thing. That was just bad by me. But um, but yeah, so the QB room is very strong, obviously, but the capital is pretty heavy there. RB room is pretty thin, I would say. But if Harvey can just get a solid role week to week, or if Blue can take over a role, basically, if any of my guys can get like a decent weekly role, I should be okay. And if any of them can fully take over, I should be pretty good. And then my receivers are pretty good overall. I feel pretty good with that. I got Caleb double stacked, and I got the San Francisco bring back neighbors up top. So the team feels okay. But the main thing, like I was trying to show, I guess, was the QB thing. And that I will give credit to since he stopped in Fantasy Football Garage. The first day rookies and sophomores, he was mentioning this, and I don't do it. I don't do it in every draft, but I would say if I can hurt two teams like this with it, then I will do it. If it's to hurt one team, I usually won't. But if it's two, then I will. Or if it's to leave one team without a quarterback completely, like they have to take Tyler Shuck QB1, um, that seems worthwhile when it's already at 25%. But yeah, we'll give credit to Fantasy Football Garage. He was mentioning this the first day of the contest opened. We were doing the stream together on I think JT's channel. But yeah, he was mentioning that strategy of doing the three QBs. And I will say in this, you see my running back room is a little bit soft for it. And it's not like my receiver room is insane. But I think my receivers are strong enough. And my running backs have the potential to all kind of be like RB2s where like Blue and Harvey could work into the main role, but then Smith and Brooks can be the RB2s on their team and could maybe get a spot with injury. So I think it's an okay build overall. But I do think that does like hurt. You see, it hurts the other two teams when they only have Shuck and Dart for their bye week coverage. Um, I did like 70% three QB teams, often to punish other teams. Yeah, I definitely notice I'm doing it a lot more. Not maybe not that high of a clip, but maybe like 50-50. Um, Especially if I see a team that I can get them to have like QB1 Tyler Shuck. Like that's like an easy move because it just like takes away so much ceiling from their lineup. It's so worth it. Or like if they especially if they have QBs with week 5 buys, that's the other big one. Like if they have Penix or Caleb, because then like Dart definitely won't cover their buy probably because he won't be starting by then. So they can only get Shuck. So like that also feels pretty good. Um I'm super quick pause. Uh, Better give him his credit or he's dropping a diss track. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, no, but that was kind of Candyman's idea originally. Or it was. He was like telling me about it on the first day. But yeah, no, I mean it seems like when you can kind of do it where it gives you a better chance to advance out of the first pod, that's really kind of the most important is like just get as many shots as you can out there. I mean, these are all late season rookie upside darts. You want to get them late in the season as much chances as you can. Um, so we will do another. I don't know if anyone has any preference. I'm gonna do either Badge Bros or Rookie and Sophomore. I don't know if you guys have any preference. Let me know. Um, I guess we did Rookies and Sophomores, so I'll do Badge Bros now. Um, so I'll enter in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is a Badge Bros brawl. Dang, I felt kind of quick. Um, all right. So in these, I think same thing. There's a lot of ways you can play it. Um, I am kind of gravitating towards getting a little bit stronger running back core early and then building receivers with a little bit of volume. I'm not opposed to getting some top tier wide receivers, but I would say in the first like 7, 8 rounds, my focus is maybe a little heavier on running backs because I think you can still get top tier running back production until like maybe the end of the third round is where there's kind of a big fall off in production, I would say. Like in a normal ADP setting. So I think maybe like the seventh-ish round is kind of where I want to focus on RBs mainly until that point, but I'll still grab receivers here and there. Maybe some elite onesies; those can be pretty powerful in this format, like a Brock Bowers, Josh Allen, something like that. We'll just kind of see how the board falls to me, though. Just in the first rounds, like I don't want to reach on anything. I just want to see what I get and just kind of go with the board. All right, so I get CD Lamb here. Um, I'll actually take Jameer Gibbs because, like I was saying, I do want to value the running backs a little bit more. So I'll just grab Gibbs there. I do like Lamb a lot. He's my most drafted first rounder. So, it is tough to pass on him, but I think that's me more being a little bit biased than anything else. And then here I'll just grab I can either grab Neighbors or Puka. Um, let's grab Neighbors. I don't between like Puka, Neighbors, Nico, even kind of a Monra, like I don't see much of a difference. I just kind of I don't know, like just between them, I just kind of pick whoever I'm feeling. I have pretty even exposure to all of them. Um, it's just a little bit of a tough call between the four of them. I view them in a very similar tier. I just like Neighbors. Like he was great with the terrible QB play. Even though Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, like Jameis, there might not be the best QBs, it'll probably be a pretty big upgrade over last year's play. So I just lean a little bit towards Neighbors. I do know Puka's like advanced metrics pretty much crush everyone. So that's kind of where it's tough. He's had a lot of injuries. Devontae's there. Stafford's a little bit older, but I do think the potential's there for like Puka or Neighbors to be wide receiver one overall, or Nico for that matter. Monra probably can't be wide receiver one, but he can be like wide receiver three. And I think the like just consistency plus spike weeks he provides puts Monra on the same tier with those guys. Um, so here we're gonna grab Jonathan Taylor. I like AJ Brown, kind of same thing. I could look at Bowers, but I'm really high on Jonathan Taylor, and I feel like getting him and Gibbs that just feels like such a great 1-2 duo. So I feel really good with that. And then okay, so AJ Brown and Brock Bowers are both there. Um, Maybe kinda like I was saying earlier, since everything is so strong on your team and, like I've heard other people talk about this too, like, I think, Steve was talking about it, like, from Fanspeak. Um, but, you want the elite onesies because everyone's gonna have a really strong running back and receiver room, so then having the elite onesies can kinda separate you from the other builds, even though, like, in these mostly, I will say I've done some, more elite QB builds, but the elite tight ends, I've kinda noticed, like, you can just make a tight end room with, like, David Njoku, Tucker Craft, like, Colston Loveland, or Tyler Warren, like, any 2 or 3 of those if you want, and it's like when you can make that kind of blend of, like, upside and consistency, that's where I'm a little bit unsure if the elite tight ends are as good, but I could see it in the sense that Brock Bowers can put up, like, a week that no one can match, like, he can put up, like, a top 5 week on the season, like, overall, right? Where maybe no one can technically match that, but I don't know, that's just kinda something like elite onesies are kind of a way to separate, but I do think you can, like, arbitrage it pretty well. You can build really, really solid tight end rooms. Maybe QB is a little bit better way to play it for the elites. Um, like, I would actually consider Jaden here if he makes it. We'll see, though. 'Cause you see, like, Josh Allen, Lamar go off the board a little bit earlier than they would in a normal draft. Oh, and he double tapped him too. That was, the same drafter. I've seen some people do that where they do, like, double elite onesies. They'll do, like, well, usually not Lamar and Allen because they have the same bye week, so that's not great, but, you do, like what you do is you do, like, I don't really wanna do double elite QB. Um, Breece Hall. Yeah. Yeah, Breece Hall. Alright. Sorry about that, yeah. I was looking at the QBs, I was like, "Oh, I could go double elite QB," but I don't I think it's an okay strategy, but I think the ceiling that you gain isn't really worthwhile. Um, I don't I don't really think the double elite onesie is great. I really think it's bad that he went the 2 that have the same bye week because, like, the whole point is it's supposed to give you an extra roster spot. Because like, the draft ends at pick 108 or what I think it's 108, and, yeah, uh, but yeah, so the draft ends at pick 108. Like, you're ending at, like, Caleb, Dak, Cam Skadoo, J.K. Dobbins, Bateman, Burden, all these tight ends. Um, but yeah, you're ending, like, near that part of the draft, so I don't I don't know. I think kind of part of the point of taking the double elite onesies is you're supposed to have extra roster spots to kind of take shots because these guys are all pretty viable still. Like I mean, you get like a Bayshal Tootin, you can get like Hollywood Kyle Williams, all these contingent running backs, some of these tight ends, Cedric Tillman, Jaden Blue, Tyler Algier. Um, but yeah, I think that kind of defeats the purpose of the double elite onesies. We'll grab Tet here. Uh, that's a decent price on Kyron, but I'm just not gonna pick him. Um, I mean, I'm pretty out on Kyron. I wouldn't really fault anyone for taking Kyron there at all. Like, I think it's debatable, like him and Tet overall. My running backs were pretty strong already, but I don't know. That's probably a little bit more my bias coming into play. We'll take JMO because he stacks up with my Gibbs. Then that kind of gives me a Detroit stack I can make. And I can get some other pieces for that game too, like later. So that'll feel pretty good. Um, JT Best Ball. I've been doing the same. Can have like 3 stud RBs and still get great wide receiver room altogether. Think some people are drafting it wrong for sure. Yeah, yeah, no, I could see that for sure, definitely. Um, I got a I got a teak today with Bijan CMC Brock was a sick team. Oh dang, yeah. Yeah, no, that's a pretty good one. Bijan CMC Brock, yeah. Yeah, that's a nice start for sure. Um wait, 1 second, sorry. I wasn't on the board. Uh Sup fam, have this tabbed up, have to go AFK though. Alright, all good. Thanks for stopping by, brother. I appreciate it. Ben Haskell, I'm pretty out on Kyron too, never taking him over Brees. Oh yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I took Brees the round before, but but yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think Kyron would have been a fine pick over Tet for me there, but I do view Tet a little bit higher tier than those receivers, and I'm pretty low on Kyron. I think that could have maybe been a spot to get some exposure to him, but I think it's fine to take Ted over him. I don't think I was like being egregious or anything. Um, and I think there's a strong argument for Himmy Cook over Kyron too. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, he's pretty efficient. His like usage really worries me for James Cook. Um, his usage really worries me, but I could definitely see him paying off for sure. I could definitely see like how you could be more in on him than Kyron, especially because he's actually good, right? Like James Cook is a really good player. His only scary thing is just that like they don't give him enough usage. They give like Ray Davis a lot of usage, and then they re-signed Ty Johnson, and he stole a lot of pass catching work actually last year. I mean that's the only thing that really scares me with James Cook. I do think he's a very talented player though, where at least if he's healthy, with him getting some kind of workload, he can always provide spike weeks because he is a big play guy, right? So like he can always provide spike weeks even if he's not getting that full workload. I just worry if he can really pay off his price. Like maybe in a format like this actually where your like whole core is deeper, a guy like James Cook might actually be an even better pick because he kind of like explodes, but then he has some kind of dry weeks or whatever if he doesn't score. Like I don't not really as much last year obviously because he kind of went crazy with the scoring, but like in his career. um so maybe he could be kind of a good guy for that, like a boom bust if he's not getting like full workload and stuff. um, that's the only thing I worry about with him. It's not really a talent thing. It's just the workload and the TD rate after his first 2 years being so bad. Like that was the other thing too. I mean, like his first 2 years, he only had 6 touchdowns his second year and 3 touchdowns his first year. Um, probably grab Rome here. Um, yeah, because I mean we kind of need a receiver right now. So we'll just grab Rome, and then I don't really need a tight end yet. I could grab Debo for the stack. I'll probably just lock up Debo right now. I was thinking about like pushing him and taking Caleb Johnson or something. Um, I can still get some pretty good running backs later. So yeah, I'll just grab Debo here. I'll get a stack locked up. I do think stacking is still pretty important in this format. Um, I do think I think that you don't need to overstack a team as much because you have so much high end talent that like that whole theory of like, oh, you have to make like a bet that neighbors will be good this week, the same week that Tet's good, the same week that JMO's good, the same week that JT's good and Gibbs is good, right? Like they're all higher end talent. So you can make that like uncorrelated bet a little more safely. Um, but I do think having like one main stacking piece with your QB can be pretty nice because like if your QB is the nuts that week, like granted Jaden doesn't have to spike with a receiver per se, but just if Jaden is like the nuts that week, there's a chance that Debo's getting brought along with that, and a better chance than usual, right? Because it means they're scoring a lot at least. Maybe Jaden's just running it, but I think like having a skinny team stack or even a stack with maybe some like lower price pieces, lower owned pieces, could be pretty good. Um, all right, so here I'm not really. I mean, I could start looking at my QBs, like I'm probably thinking Goff for one of them, and I'm probably thinking like Caleb maybe, and I could do like a Niners thing, like with Ricky. That probably works pretty good because I only need one more tight end, and that way I have like a Caleb Ricky thing or Chicago SF. Let me see what's left at running back real quick. Uh, I'll just wait. I'll kind of get like a lower owned running back. Let me just get Caleb. I could get like Fields with Brees. That wouldn't be too bad. Um, that would be fine. Probably just Goff though. I'm probably just gonna go Goff because I have JMO and I have Gibbs. I don't have any Minnesota pieces, but that's fine. I mean, you don't really need like the whole bring back and everything in this. I mean, I guess you can. Like, I can probably get like Jordan Mason or something still, right? Yeah, but I don't know. I probably won't even take Jordan Mason or anything like that. Um, yeah, we'll just kind of see what makes it back to me though. Let me scroll down here. Oh, um, Canine over Cook. No, probably not Canine over Cook, but I mean, I don't hate that, but I probably wouldn't do it. It's a little bit much because like, I mean, I love Kenneth Walker, but I don't know, like, he does have some kinda bad metrics too. Like, I do think that they'll give him a full workload and he has the potential to really have a breakout year, but he's also had the potential to have a breakout year for a while, and it's like, I think he'll do it one year, but I don't know, he's dealt with a lot of injuries, like, I think the team might not be the greatest, where the Bills are gonna be one of the best teams in the NFL. Um, I do like K-Walk though. I mean, I'm in on K-Walk. I was just kind of giving a little bit of a bear case, like, maybe not. Let's just go Tyler or oh no no no. Let's go Colson Loveland. Yeah. Ooh, that was close. All right. So yeah, now my tight ends are Colson Loveland, Brock Bowers. So, big upside with my Chicago stack. And then I have Brock Bowers, tight end one. So then I feel really good with that. I have 3 picks left. So I'm done at tight end. I'm gonna take one QB. I'm gonna take one QB and I'm gonna take two running backs. Let's just get oh my oh no. Uh okay. Jared Goff was gone. Oh man. I thought Jared Goff would be there for sure. It must have been maybe the Amon-Ra drafter got Laporte. I was not let me see. Jared Goff went here. Uh he has Amon-Ra, right? Amon-Ra. I guess just a Monra, but that's fine. He had Addison too for the bring back. That makes sense. I mean, I just didn't realize he took him. I mean Drake May is fine. Drake May is like one of the better QBs. So, like Drake May is one of the better price QBs on the board in my opinion. I'm pretty happy getting him always. Um, I'm done at receiver. I could put on like Diggs, but I don't really think he does much for this room. I think I'm better off spending it at running back. I mean, my running backs are pretty strong, but maybe they're a little thin. Um, we'll go. So I want to do at least one where I scroll down, but then I could do one that's a little more owned. I could scroll down for both. I mean, that's like a little bit of one. That's kind of a stacked one. Um, I mean, we could take Brian Thomas. He's kind of just a team bet on my Washington. He doesn't have the same bye week as any of my other running backs either. Um, that feels fine there. And then this is my last pick. So we could go Diggs still. I could go Diggs. I could go Pollard. Well, no, I probably want to scroll down. So I don't want Pollard. I don't want Warren. Um, yeah, because I kind of want to get like a scroll down piece. Probably just do Tootin, I guess. That's fine. Yeah, that feels pretty good. And let me catch up with you guys. Sorry, the draft is so quick. I fell behind in the chat, but all right. I just started taking Cook around 47 occasionally. Yeah, no, me too. In a normal draft, I don't take them very much. I don't know, like around there, I will now because like Hurts and Kittle are kind of ahead of him. It's kind of like the picks I would take over him kind of moved up a little. So that also helps a little. I'd probably take him around there now too, yeah. I kind of feel like Ty Johnson hit near his ceiling last year, at least as a receiver out of the backfield, and I expect that to regress both efficiency and volume wise. Um, I could see that, but they did re-sign him this offseason to like a decent deal. Um, but I mean, if you believe that, then I think that's totally fair. You know, he's just like a role player type guy. You know, maybe it's not the worst bet to bet against him. Like, you know, he's not really much of like a big player or anything. You know what I mean? Um, if that hypothesis is correct, the most likely Himi will be more involved in the passing game, probably not quite as efficient as he's been due to increased volume. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, yeah, you know, like let's see, or I'll finish catching up. But yeah, but I could see that. I don't hate that call. If you think Ty Johnson gets less playing time, and that leads to more for James Cook. Then fair enough. And if you think Ray Davis like gets less, gets the same, but it's less Ty Johnson, whatever, then like I think that's fair. I think James Cook's a fair price in that case. Push Debo. I mean, I could have, but or I didn't really have room left on my team really because I needed Debo then Ricky, and they were both like right there. Um, let me wait. Let me go to it real quick because it closed me out of it. Because it was yeah. I just didn't really have room. That was the problem. I mean, I guess I could have pushed him for a different position, but it's like in these, it's so hard to like even push stuff. You're kind of just reaching for the rest of your picks. Um, Yeah, damn, already third and the cock size ranks I just got here. Here we go. Uh, Apologies if I'm saying I'm coming for that number one. There you go. JT best ball, your ass is grass. Wait, what am I looking at? Why is it stronger about? Oh yeah, I feel stronger about K9 over Kyron than I feel about K9 over Himmy. I think yeah. Okay, you realized yeah. Why is Mark Andrews around? 6-man bad bros. Yeah, it was 6-man bad bros. My bad. I said it at the beginning. I didn't. My bad. I fell behind the chat 'cause the quick, the quick draft. But yeah, that was a 6-man badge, bros. And before that, I did a rookies and sophomores. Um, I'm gonna do another either badge bros or rookies and sophomores probably. If anyone has any preference, let me know. Um, I don't know if you fuck with Superflex, but if you're interested, share your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. Um, I mean, I guess sure. I don't. I think all the Superflex is closed. I will. Let me read this other one. I will in a second. I think Ray Davis will either be about the same or increase volume. He's pretty damn good. He's gonna be 26 in the second season, so want to get what they can from him on his rookie deal. Um, yeah, no, I mean I agree. I think okay, so you're basically saying you're betting just against Ty Johnson, which I don't think is like a bad bet by any means. I mean, there's worse people to bet against than Ty Johnson. So not the worst bet, not the worst bet. I don't mind that call. Um, but yeah, with Superflex, I meant if you're interested in reviewing my exposures, I think I follow you on the Twitter machine, but I don't know. Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, I can. I guess real quick then, I'll do my exposures, and then I can show your exposures too. Sure, why not? Uh, all right. Are they just like on your profile? Probably. Oh yeah, there we go. All right. So okay, I'll share mine, and then we'll see how Ben Haskell's compare. Um, so I didn't do a ton of super flex. I did 81 of the first puppy. I did almost all of these, or I might have no, I did like 19 or 18 of these or whatever because it switched to fast only. But I have a bunch of slows going, so those aren't gonna count. Um, so QB pretty flat. Not much at Q, not much like interesting here. I tried to get like three real starters in every super flex basically. I'm not too much on like the super backup guys. Like I have 9% like Shuck and Rattler where I think I probably comboed them. But mostly it's like the legit starters for the most part. Um, RBs, Brees Hall, Quinshawn, obviously great pick. Feel great about that one right now. Kenneth Walker, Jarquez Hunter, Trevion, Bashal Tootin, Warren, Pollard, JT. So pretty heavy running back builds for me. Definitely valuing running back way heavier than receiver in that format. But receiver still like you see some late guys because mainly I'm chucking volume like Bird and Wicks, Steele and Coker, Keon, Pittman, but like Olave, Keenan Allen, Anani Mitchell, Trey Harris, George Pickens, Darnell Mooney, Calvin Austin, Pat Bryant. So you see my receivers are like a lot on the weaker side, but I do mix in some of the like a little bit higher end. Like I have some like Devontae, Rome, like above field, but Tet above field. But for the most part, I'm doing kind of mid-range receivers, and I'm just kind of picking whatever stacks with the QBs that I happen to get. So I'm not being as picky with the receivers. I'm more just like stacking it up or whatever for the random ones. And then tight end, just kind of all like late, like punt tight end type stuff. I'm not taking really any very good tight ends. Probably like Njoku's my highest. Yeah, Njoku Craft just over Field. So yeah, punt tight end, three good starting QBs, strong at running back, volume at receiver later. Um, oh, bad. Maybe that's kind of annoying, but it's exciting to me. Brees my highest exposure is 30% super flex. All right, yeah, we'll show it. Let me see. There you go. Right. Yeah, there we go. So this is Ben Haskell super flex exposures. 167 teams. So you went QB. You got a lot of Josh Allen. That's pretty surprising. And that's pretty lucky right there. A lot of Josh Allen. Um, yeah, I mean the QBs are all like right, just like same thing. It's like they're all just like legit starting quarterbacks. Like they all feel good. So I think that's fine. Not much to say there. Kind of just depends where you are in the draft, what your QB exposures are and stuff. Like obviously you grab Caleb a little more, but like they end up staying kind of flat. I feel like. Um, Brees Hall 30%. Yeah, I mean that feels great. Ramondre 20%. I'm not super into Ramondre, but I don't think he's a bad pick either. I think he's fine. So, I think that's fine. Um, yeah, and I think your running backs are pretty solid. They're kind of more in that mid range, like that round 5 to 6. I see CMC over here though. But yeah, like Brees Hall up top, CMC at 14%. Like, yeah, I mean, I think those look pretty good. And then receiver, kinda same thing, right? Like, it's mostly later guys, just kinda like your favorite later guys, like, you see Golden and Rome and Jaden Higgins, Trey Harris, so that's kinda like a range that you're targeting, that, like, pick 100 range in a regular draft. Ricky up there. Yeah, I mean, kinda similar in that sense. And then tight end, kinda similar, a little bit of the higher with, like, David Njoku, Jake Ferguson, Dalton Kincaid. I guess you had a lot of Josh Allen, though, too. George Kittle up there, Mark Andrews. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I think it looks pretty solid. I'm not, like, a huge super flex guy, but I think it's pretty solid overall. Um, hey, what's up, Green Bean? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Alright, we were just looking at some super flex exposures. So now we're gonna do another draft. If you guys have any kind of preference, let me know. I'm basically looking at Badge Rose Brawl and rookies and sophomores. I've just kind of been enjoying these like different formats that they put out and everything. Um, we could do something different, but those are what I would prefer. I'll maybe do a puppy also during this stream. But so, like, if you guys wanna rip a puppy a lot, then I'll do that. But, those 2, I wanna do a couple of those 2. Um, Basketball, I like the Expos a lot, we play it similarly. Yeah, no, that's kinda what it seemed like. Honestly, that was why I didn't get as into Superflex is, like, it seems like the best way to play it is, like, very similar for, like, the people who play it the best way. Like like the capital allocation, right? Like, let me get 3 QBs who are like actual starters, maybe throw on a backup later or whatever. But like, let me get 3 actual starters. Let me get good running backs. Let me get like volume at receiver, kind of mid to late range, right? Let me like I think you and me, the only thing we played a little different was tight end. You put a little more capital at tight end than I did, but that was the only real difference between both of our strategies. Um, I didn't really see much else. So, yeah, I mean, I think that was kinda like, it was a little bit boring to me because it was like you kinda know the way to do it. I don't know. Um, am I trading a Monra for Bijan plus 109? It would kinda tank my receiver room. I have Garrett, Tyreek, Jennings, but I have Saquon, Connor, and B-Rob. I have 2 firsts maybe to draft receivers or trade. Trading a Monra for Bijan plus 109. Is it like the 109 like this year, like you didn't do your draft yet? I mean, because if it's this year, who do you have? You have Garrett, Tyreek, and Jennings. Wait, you have Saquon, Connor, and B-Rob. Well, I mean, yeah, and it's the draft this year, you said? Huh. I don't a Monra for Bijan plus 109? Yeah, like plus 109. That feels I mean, it feels like a big win, doesn't it? Like, it feels like Bijan should be worth more than that. Like, with the 109, like and with the 109, you could probably get, like, what, like, Trey Harris or, like, Jaden Higgins maybe? I don't know if that's reasonable or not. I think it is. I think Jaden Higgins or Trey Harris. So you get, like, a young receiver. It might be a little bit thin because you do have Tyreek. Um, I mean, Garrett, Jennings, no, actually, your receivers are a little thin. You're kinda in win now, aren't I guess. Huh. Have 2 firsts, maybe to draft receivers or trade. Yeah. That's a tough one, actually. Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like you'd probably do it because you're getting more capital, and if you're, like, talking about doing other trades already too, it's probably worth it because I think you're gaining capital overall by, like, a good amount. Um, so I think I would do it. Even though it makes your team weaker right now, you're probably gonna have to make some other moves. But I think you're gaining enough capital to do it. And yeah, it's just the setup's interesting, but I think you're gaining, so you do it. I have Tillman Mims and some other randoms like Watson as receivers on the bench. Stroud, T-Law, and Penix are QBs. Yes, the QB room's pretty nice actually. Um, but yeah, I think you do it. I think the capital's enough. So we're in like 10 superflex slows together. Oh yeah, I was hammering getting them in when it was at like 95%. My my bad, Pepper Tony. Good luck. Good luck, brother. It's 2 advance, right? We'll both make it. Uh, it might have been a terrible choice I made, but I did a lot of 3 QB through 3 rounds even before through round 4. Um, I only did, like, 1 with 4 through round 4. I did a lot with I my most common was probably 3 QBs through round 5. So, like, a lot of the time, my QB3 would be, like, Cam Ward, Tua, Stafford, Michael Penix, like, those kinda guys. Um, I would do a lot of that, but I would start with, like, 2 straight QBs. Um, or I would do, like, 1 non-QB, then, like, 3 in a row. That was how I did a lot of mine. I did a decent amount of 3 straight, but not a ton. That was kinda how I played it, but I don't think that's terrible. Like, I don't think that's bad at all, but I do think 4 can be a little hard to build out of. I think if you build out of it, though, like, your QB room is gonna be insane. So, it could be viable. But, yep. Alright. Oh, yeah, yeah, you were saying for this year's draft. Yeah, I think you do it, but it's a close call for sure. Um, alright, so I don't think anyone really had a preference, so we'll just switch back and forth. We'll do a rookies and sophomores. I'll count it down. It's only 4 people, but, we'll do rookies and sophomores in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so rookies and sophomores waiting on one. The 4 through 4 is basically all in the first like 2 3 days of the first Superflex puppy open, so the combos were crazy. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I got some like crazy ones. I never did 4 through 4. But like I see what you mean with that because like I had some. What was it? It was like Josh Allen, like Bo Nix, Justin Fields, or something like that, and it's like It or like yeah, like, they were just, like, letting them fall like crazy, especially after the first couple went, like, people were just letting the QBs fall like crazy. I wish I would've done more volume that opening day, 'cause I only did, like, 10 drafts or something that day, in the Superflex. Like, my very first draft from the first day open is Burrow, Kyler, Purdy, Herbert team with Hampton, Kittle, and James Conner. Nice, that's pretty good, yeah. Yeah, no, that feels pretty nice. I think my first one, it was a Kyler, Herbert, Shuck, Rattler. I think that's what I did because I just double tapped, the Saints guys, but they were going, like, so late, like, crazy late, like, I can't remember, but, like, mid hundreds, like, 130, for the first one, and then Rattler, like, undrafted. Um But yeah, it was, I mean, that felt pretty good. But I had some pretty nice ones, especially from the front half the first day with, like, Josh Allen or, like, Lamar or something, where I got, like, 2 QBs with them that you can't, like, normally get. Um, alright, so this is rookies and sophomores, so, kinda like I was saying earlier, the main thing is, like, make sure you don't get boxed out at QB. The RBs are a little bit thinner, wide receivers pretty deep. There's some good scroll downs at RB. Like when we get close to the end, maybe I'll highlight a few. Um, the other thing to maybe look at is like some QBs are easier to stack than others. Like JJ McCarthy only has Ty Felton, where so I'm gonna take neighbors here, and then I'm gonna grab Bucky to grab a running back. Um, because like I said, RB is a little bit thinner in this format. Um, so grabbing Bucky there feels pretty good. Um, but yeah, with the stacking, like for example, JJ McCarthy, he really only has Ty Felton, where like Caleb Williams, you can stack him up with Rome, Luther Burden, and Colston Loveland, and have a Jordan Addison bring back if you want. Or not Jordan Addison bring back, I'm sorry. Not have a I'm sorry, Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall bring back. They go in the same range. I was just on JJ McCarthy. Drake May, he has Kyle Williams and Trevion, which is a pretty good combo. Um, all right, so here that person took Cam Ward, which is pretty surprising. Um, and let's grab Bo Nix, and then let's grab um, we grab Caleb or Drake May. We'll grab Drake May. I like him a little bit more. Caleb probably has a little bit better stacking options, which is nice, but I do like Drake May's rushing upside a little bit more. Um, that was a little bit of a tough call. I kind of wanted to see if I would get Trevion back. But we'll see. If not, it's not a big deal, but we'll see if he comes back or not. All right, so he takes Caleb. All right, I guess we can go to the board. It's pretty quick on the turn. Uh, yeah, and I mean, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Like you can do some big stacks too without the QBs. Obviously, like you could do like BTJ and Hunter. Like I have Nix and May, so like I didn't get them, but like you can get Harvey or Henderson with them. You can get Kyle Williams or Pat Bryant. Um, I could take a third QB because all these people only have one. Um, let's grab Caleb Johnson. He's the top running back left, and that way it kind of secures my running back room. Um, I'm gonna grab another QB actually. Let's grab JJ McCarthy because with that Cam Ward is already gone. So with doing that, Um, this person only has Jaden, this person only has Caleb, and this person only has Cam Ward. So they just took Michael Penix. So, oh wow, that's kind of bad. So they took a double week 5 bye. Maybe they grab like Shuck, but basically at least two of these three teams is pretty likely taking a 0 1 week, if not all three of them, because they won't have a quarterback that week, so they'll be taking a 0 at QB. Um, so that's kind of the benefit of doing that. I'm gonna grab Luther Burden here because I just grabbed Ricky, and that's a game stack. Like you don't you don't need the QB to game stack if it is a good, like, high scoring game, maybe one of those guys scores well. Um, it's still good to have that even without the QB, so, that feels pretty good. I like both those players as well. Got them both at, fair prices. Rookie had a little bit of a value, so that feels pretty good right there. QBs are obviously super strong. Running back feels okay. I'm gonna tack on a little more volume, but Bucky and Caleb feels like a nice enough start. Um, see, and then we'll see. So I'll probably grab Kyle Williams here. I'll just finish, or I'll get a stack with my Drake May. Um, and then I could grab Tyler Warren. I just kind of like his upside. Um, well, we could grab maybe we grab Dylan Sampson and we grab a little bit just a little bit more upside at running back. And then I got kind of two people in mind for my last two picks. I'm thinking I could grab Jaden Blue. Um, I could grab Jarquez, Brashard Smith, Taj Brooks. Um, and then I'm thinking at receiver, I'm gonna grab Pat Bryant if he's there. So I'm definitely gonna grab him if he's available. And then I'll probably just pick one of those running backs and that'll finish out the build. Um I get I guess I haven't really been going over them too much. All right, so Pat Bryant gets taken. Um we could take Mason Taylor here. I'm gonna do that because he's a bring back for my New England. So that feels pretty good there, getting just a bring back piece. maybe his ceiling's a little bit lower than some of these receivers, but he probably has a little bit better like projectable volume. And then we'll just grab Jaden Blue. I just think the upside he can provide without an injury, even with his bad reports, it surpasses these guys. Like, we're talking about Jalen Wright, Will Shipley, Rashard Smith, Giddens, Jarquez Hunter, Marshawn Lloyd, Blake Corum, Taj Brooks. It's like those guys can't those guys don't have the upside that Jaden Blue has unless someone gets hurt. That is the only way that they can hit his upside, and that's just why I'm going to take the swing on him over those guys. I think you can make the argument, maybe if we're going like a lower owned guy, but I do think I was pretty thin, so I need to kind of swing for whoever I think has the highest likelihood at running back. So I finished with a 3-4-5 build with Bo Nix, Drake May, JJ McCarthy at QB. Super strong QB room. Bucky Irving, Caleb Johnson, Dylan Sampson, Jaden Blue at RB. Good talent up top of the top two, but kind of thin. You do only need to start one RB every week, so you can be kind of thin. But it feels okay with the talent at the top. And then wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, Ricky Pearsall, Luther Burden, Kyle Williams, Mason Taylor. Wide receivers feel pretty good overall. Like I have Malik Neighbors up top, which feels great. The next guys, maybe I would have liked one a little bit higher tier than like my number three being Burden or a little bit more volume there. Um, but it feels okay. It feels viable. It does feel maybe a little bit thinner though. But I do have good talent up top, so it's okay. Um, all right, so let's go back here. Jaden 101, 65% of the time. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. He goes like yeah, it is tough. People do like Jaden a lot. I mean, I think Jaden's just one of those ones like I don't know, people are really, really into the Jaden Daniels thing, so I don't know. It kind of makes sense. I think for him being 101, I think it's a fair argument. I think you're talking to rookies and sophomores. If you are, like, I'm usually a little bit more of a genty guy because I like a lot of the sophomore QBs. So I'll usually take Genty 101, but I can completely see the argument for Jaden. Like if a Genty's off the board, Jaden's like instant click, obviously. But I lean a little bit more towards Genty because I think him and Bucky are the only like true like RB1 starter like day ones on their team. And Genty's even a little bit different tier than Bucky in that sense. Where I think Bucky will be splitting work. I think Hampton could be that by the end of the year, but he'll be splitting work as well. So like I take Genty, but I do get Jaden can be like QB1 and like just smash them all. So I kind of get both arguments. Yeah, I don't know. I could see it either way, but I lean a little towards Genty, but if you're more Jaden, I can totally see that. Like I don't think that's like I think either one's completely valid there. Um I gotta put 40% Daniels, but I have like 16% Genty, taking Genty at the 101 mostly, or taking Jaden at the 101 mostly. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that's fair, right? If he's QB1 overall, then he's obviously the pick you should be making there, right? It really depends too. It as long as none of the other QBs are comparable. Because I think that's where I maybe have a little bit I have a lot of faith in like Drake May or Caleb, for example. And maybe that's wrong. That could be like my undoing in this contest. I mean, I'm taking a lot of Jaden, so maybe not. But anyways, like I think Caleb and May have really good chances to be top 5 as well. Um, so it makes me a little bit lesser on Jaden because I think those guys could put up comparable points. Um, I get the argument that Jaden can just separate in a way that they can't. And if you think that he'll do that, then I think he's a totally fair bet at 101. Um, but like I have a good amount of Jaden as well. Like I'm not fading him by any means. McCarthy is my most on QB at 50%. That's crazy. That's wild. Why? Out of all the QBs you can take in the contest, you pick JJ McCarthy? That's crazy. He doesn't even have a stack. You can't even do a bring back on him. Isaac Tesla. I hope you have Isaac Tesla on those teams. I'm like 35% JD, but still 25% Genty because he still falls. Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy. You'll get Genty at like 3-4 sometimes. Crazy. And I mix both in at one Baleen JD. That's fair. That's fair. I wonder, let's see really quick. How many do I have done? I have 42 done. Okay, let's see. Uh QB. I have 50% Drake May. I have 43% JJ McCarthy. Oh wait, no. Wait, this is only showing 16 drafts. I said I had 43. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah. QB1, Caleb Williams, Drake May, JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix. So I have 19% Jaden Daniels, which I guess is actually a little bit below field. Kind of surprising. 19% Cam Ward, 16% Penix, and then almost none of the lower guys. I always try to have decent starters before they go. RB, I got Baishal Tootin as my highest. He kind of falls really late. Jaden Blue doesn't even get drafted most of the time now. Trevion, Ashton Genty at 31%. Scadaboo, Harvey, Bucky, Hampton, Sampson. And then Ricky's my highest owned receiver. Then Keon also over 50. Neighbors at 38. Loveland at 35. Golden at 33. Rest are just under 30, I guess. Bird, Warren, Rome, Trey Harris. So I don't know. I feel okay with it. Um, yeah. I mean that feels pretty good. That feels about where I'd want it to be. Being that low on Jaden doesn't feel great. I want more than that. I'd assume that's kind of just like bad luck with the ADPs maybe. Cause like I would take him at 2. I guess some people take him at 1, so maybe that's why. But 20%, that's still not terrible. Um Or oh yeah, yeah. I have some Tesla. McCarthy just cheap. You have a ton too. Yeah, no, I do. He's well because I actually didn't think about it, but he's like the last one that goes. That's like the real starter. So well, no, I guess not because Ward does, but McCarthy. I'd rather have McCarthy than Ward. So yeah, like McCarthy is pretty cheap. I was just kind of hating. I'm not a big McCarthy guy, but in this apparently I'm a pretty big McCarthy guy. Tootin is my most owned player, 60%. Yeah, no, like he just falls for no reason. It's like people are trying to get their like receivers and stuff around then. I don't know what it is, but sometimes people just won't take Tootin. They'll just like reach, they'll grab like Ray Davis or something and just fine, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I have a ton of Tootin too for that reason. And Burden too, yeah. It's kind of weird too. He just had that new thing came out. He signed the new contract, and then people aren't even like, I don't know. I kind of just thought positive news. Like people would be like, "Oh, he signed." Rookies and sophomores. I thought he'd move up a little, but not really. Like kind of surprising. Um. So I don't know. I'll probably do one or two more drafts. I'll probably do one more Badge Bros Brawl, and then I could either do like a puppy or like two Badge Bros Brawls or something. Like I don't have a super strong preference. If anyone does, let me know. But if not, I'll probably do a Badge Bros Brawl. Um, 80% Trevion. No, don't even be worried about that. That's sick. 80% Trevion's awesome, dude. That's crazy. Like I love Trevion, especially yeah, especially in that format. Like I'm just curious. I want to see how much I had. Oh, I had 45%. Okay, I had a lot. I had a lot. But not as much as you. That's crazy. Um yeah, 80%. I mean, I think he's one of the better players to pick to bet on. Like around where he goes, like him and Harvey kind of together, like kind of just taking a big stand on one of them. I don't really hate that call like at all, especially Henderson. I'm a big fan of him. Um, all right, so I think I'm gonna do a Badge Bros Brawl. Um, yeah, because I don't think anyone had a strong preference, so we'll just do Badge Bros. I'll count it down in case anyone wants to hop in. So I'll enter Bad Bros Brawl in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Waiting for 5. Not great. Um, but yeah, I think with the Bad Bros Brawl, it's just I don't know. I just think running back a little heavier. Maybe elite onesies like the QBs. And I think at the end, the big thing is just like, don't be scared to scroll down, like you need that low owned leverage because every team's a super team. So you need a guy that can really be low owned and hit your lineup. And whether that's building that through like low owned stacks, you look at QB, right? This goes to pick 108. Like realistically, basically all of these QBs are not getting drafted every time. From like the Jared Goff, McCarthy, Herbert, Love, Lawrence, Stroud, Penix range, like those guys aren't even 100% drafted at all. And if you go even further down, like Tua, Bryce Young, Stafford, Cam Ward, Gino, Rogers, AR Jones, if you want to get real crazy, but even down to like Penix, Tua, Bryce Young, Stafford, Ward, um, those are going to be very low on stacks compared to the field. So just doing that can help differentiate you. You can go later at tight end. That can help as well. You grab like a Mason Taylor, you grab like even like a Jasicki, Hunter Henry, Kyle Pitts, Ferguson, even. Like these guys aren't going to be 100% owned by any means. And if you go a little bit lower, like Jasicki, like he's going to be like sub 10% owned in this contest. Um, Receiver's probably the most difficult scroll down in my mind. I don't hate scrolling down to like Tillman. He's probably gonna be really low owned. Luther Burden in a bear stack. Some of these guys, they're gonna be like not 100%, but they're gonna be probably over 50%, I would guess. I'm not 100% sure on that though. But that would be my guess is like maybe 50% owned for like Jaden Higgins, Keon Coleman, Trey Harris, guys like that. So, reaching past that range, if there's any receivers you really like, can be a good strategy near the end of the draft. Um, and then at running back, I think running back's actually the easiest one to do it. Because anyone around like I see Jalen Warren go undrafted in these. He's usually like the first RB I'll see go undrafted. And then like the Giants guys, like one of them usually will. So anyone after that range isn't 100%. So like I like grabbing like Tootin, Ray Davis, even like Trey Benson, Garendo, Jaden Blue. Like these guys are gonna be low owned and Tyler Algier, right? Like these clear cut handcuffs that'll be low owned that they can actually make an impact on a star-studded lineup, right? Because if you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna reach down on a receiver, but let me grab Adam Thielen." Adam Thielen's not gonna do anything on your team with 6 wide receivers that are selected in, like, the equivalent of the top 7 rounds, right? He's not gonna do anything on that team, so you need to only scroll down for guys who can realistically hit a superstar lineup and they're like if they hit their 99th percentile outcome, right? If like one for example, if you wanted to go real crazy, like I've done this in one draft, is like Taj Brooks, right? You scroll down to Taj Brooks because he's gonna be like 1% owned. If he takes over that backup job and Chase Brown gets injured, then that can be a guy who can actually hit in a star-studded RB room, but he's going to be ultra low owned. And I think that's why RB is kind of the scroll down move, right? Like Marshawn Lloyd, Will Shipley, Dylan Sampson, those kind of guys. I think that can be a pretty solid move to give you some good leverage on the field. Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw JT Best Ball in at the 3 spot. I'm in at the 4. Um We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully it doesn't snipe me too hard. Hashtag Sean Tucker, Miles Sanders. Yeah. Yeah, Miles Sanders, I don't know. I have a tough time with that. Well, like I said, I'm valuing running back, but not if their name is Saquon Barkley. So we'll pass on him. Um, no, I don't know. I definitely want some Lamb exposure in this too. I mean, he is my highest drafted player, like in the first round by quite a bit. I have Lamb at 22% almost. So, I mean, I'm valuing running back heavier, but I'm also not like just gonna never take a receiver in the first round. Um, that feels fine there. Uh, we could pull up the big dog here or A chain. Um, let's go A chain. I don't really have enough of him. I only have 7% of A chain like overall. So I just need more exposure. I want more of him. Um, I don't it's not really an intentional fade. He just ended up being a guy I had less of. But so let's see. JT goes Jefferson Nico. Okay, so he's maybe going a little more zero RB. Um, I think that's a thing. Like I think any strategy can really be viable in this. Like you can go double elite onesies, you can go zero RB, uh you can go like hero RB, like you can do all the normal builds like hero RB, zero RB, all that stuff. But you can even do like double elite onesies. Like you can do Jaden with like Josh Allen or Lamar, right? Or you can do like Bowers and Kittle or Bowers and McBride because that can be a way to really separate and differentiate your team from like the rest of the field. Um, we'll grab Bowers here. We could grab Tyreek Hill to go with our A chain, but kind of like I was saying, maybe we'll grab just the elite onesie. Um, that feels pretty good there. Tyreek would have been fine too, but maybe we'll grab Brock Bowers and then we'll grab an elite QB as well. And then that'll feel, I don't know, that'll be an interesting way to start it. We'll kind of see how that builds out. I'm not gonna grab like Hurts here or anything if he's gone. Um, so let's see. Uh, and then if not, I mean, there's still plenty of good receivers, running backs. Um, all right, so we'll grab Jaden there. We'll take Jalen Hurts off the list. So this is so we'll just kind of see how this builds out. I mean, it is Jaden ahead of ADP, it says, but like Lamar's ADP is 33, but like he always goes in the 20s. I feel like I feel like you just kind of play the room. If you don't see anyone taking an elite QB, then maybe you kind of wait. But when I was the last one to kind of grab one in that tier, then it feels pretty good. Um, I'm really not much of a fan of Chase Brown, but I think on a little bit of a faller where maybe I want a little more RB help, that feels okay there. I'm not really too in on him this year. But I don't hate the pick there. He was a decent value. I'm just not super in on him as a player, but it's an okay pick there. It fits the team well, it fits the composition well. Um, but not just not my favorite player take, I guess. Terry would be cool for the stack. Tet would be cool just because that's my favorite receiver here. I'm not huge on Terry. I have him at like 6%. He's I think he's okay, but like you look at his stat lines, he basically does the same thing every year. He did the same thing last year. He just had way more touchdowns. Like 1,096. I mean, we're gonna draft him here, but for the stack, right? But it's like his stat lines were within like 100 yards of each other. He just had way more touchdowns last year, and I do think they're an ascending offense, but he is an older player turning 30, skipping out on camp. Um, I think the potential of the ascending offense could help, but I do think there's going to be more mouths to feed with like Debo there. Maybe Eckler and B Rob are healthier. They take more rushing touchdowns away. Um, it worries me a little for Terry that he might just be a little overpriced. I don't think he's going to be like a total bust, but I worry that his price might be just a little bit steep for what the production is. Um, so here we'll grab Tet. I think he's kind of a tier above these receivers left. Um, we only have A Chain and Chase Brown. but I think we can tack on some volume in the mid range and make it feel pretty good. So I kind of like that idea there. Uh, Ben Haskell. I don't think Miles Sanders is talented by any means. One second, let me go to the board. Uh, I don't think Miles Sanders is talented by any means compared to other NFL RBs, of course. But Javante and Blue are also super ass, and Sanders is so cheap. There's actually a good chance he's the best RB in the Dallas locker room. Um, like, like, there is, I guess. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't disagree with you. It's just like, why does Miles Sanders get the benefit of the doubt of being good? Like, I guess that is I guess that is where, like, he wasn't good in Carolina is the thing, right? And I don't know. I don't think he's a bad pick. I don't like hate the pick, but I'm not like a super Miles Sanders. Like, I don't know. I'm not like a truther. Like, I just don't know like what upside does he really bring to the team. Like, that's, I guess that's just the only thing for me. All right. So okay, yeah. Sorry, I was messing with one of the settings on here. Um All right, so there we grab George Pickens to double stack with CD Lamb. So that feels really good. And then we have the Washington obviously stacked up with Jaden. I guess I probably will put Dak in here. I mean, it's a pretty small final, so I guess I don't really care that much about that. I just want that team like upside correlation stuff, right? Um, so we'll go RB here. Um, we could grab Dave Montgomery. That's a decent price on him. Um, I don't really have too much else. Did we get the cornerback? Cornerback one? We got him. Yeah, I guess grab Travis Hunter there, double stack up my Jacksonville. I was thinking Montgomery, but I did see his ADP is kind of far behind. These guys have quite a bit of running backs already. Um, if he takes Montgomery, it's fine. I like Pollard. If Pollard goes, I'll probably just wait till a little bit later. Um, but yeah, I just figured I'd grab Travis Hunter, double up my Jacksonville. That feels okay. Like, I don't know, it might be a little bit too heavy on the stacking because I might be limiting my upside a little bit. But I do feel like my upside's still pretty good with this lineup. Um, like with the receiver room because I think my top 4 all are on different teams, right? And then I have my 5 and 6 on the same team stacked. So that feels pretty good overall. Um, let me go back. Oh, and we've actually seen something from him. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just been a while for Miles Sanders since he showed much. Javante batted ADP 130 versus Sanders batted ADP 190. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, okay, like I'll give you guys that. Like Sanders is clickable, Javante is not. We're just gonna like egregiously reach and grab Dak. It's around 13 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But what do I really need? I need another running back, and I could grab Debo. I could just go absolutely crazy with the stacks, mega stack it, light up the whole screen. It would be kind of cool, actually. Um, I could do that. I need a tight end at some point. Um, I kind of want one in like these like top 4, like before it gets to Kincaid. Um, we could just do that right away and just grab Warren or Njoku. I like both a lot. Um, let's grab Njoku. He's a pretty big he's a pretty big play guy, like as a tight end. He can provide spike weeks, so having a 2 tight end room with Bowers and Njoku feels good. It feels like Njoku is a guy who has the actual chance to like spike over Bowers where like most tight ends can't. Um, that's the only reason I leaned him there, but he feels pretty good right there. Great tight end room with Bowers and Joku. Um, and then so Debo went right before that pick. Um, we could do another stack. We probably want Trevor Lawrence to get with our double. So we can wait on Trevor until the very last round. Um which means I have 3 other picks left. I definitely need some running back help. Uh we could grab Jordan Mason. That would be fine. I've kind of been Jalen Warren pilled. Um don't need a tight end. We'll just grab Jordan Mason. That feels pretty good there. Um yeah. Yeah, that I like that for my 5th RB. Um That feels fine. My RBs are a little light. I don't love these RBs, but it feels like a solid room. It's not bad, but it's not great either. I feel okay with it. Um no, I don't think he deserves the benefit of the doubt that he's good, but I think for this price it's worth it. That's fair. No, I think that's totally fair. Like I said, I've been clicking him some. I'm just not super in. Um we could go Jalen Warren, so we have 2 picks left other than T Law. Um so we get Diggs. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's grab Diggs there. Um, and then we'll probably go running back QB. That's probably the last 2 picks I'm thinking. Um. Okay. He can fall into the end zone on a team everyone expects to score a lot. Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, yeah. Like I said, I guess I don't believe in him as a talent is the problem. Um, I'm actually gonna grab T Law here. I like Jalen Warren the most at RB right now, but like I was saying earlier, it is beneficial to grab a scroll down. Like Baishal Tootin is a scroll down in this format. I don't know what kind of ownership a guy like him will get, but we're in the very last round right now, and these are the undrafteds as it stands. So I don't know how much ownership a guy like Tootin will get at ADP 133. Um Jaden Blue might go I don't know, sub 5% probably. Um, Miles Sanders for the bit. He does stack. Wait a minute. Miles Sanders stacks. Miles Sanders, baseball tootin'. Here you go, just for Ben Haskell and Pepper Tony. There you go. There we go. Miles Sanders. The piece de resistance, the stacked running back, the only stacked running back on the whole team. Miles Sanders. That's the guy you need. Low owned leverage. That feels great. This was really, now that I'm thinking about it, this was not the tournament to take Miles Sanders. Um, but you guys were hyping him up so much, you had me convinced. You had me taking Miles Sanders in a Badge Rose Brawl, and you should be proud of that. Um, all right. You can fall in the end zone on a team. Oh, right. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Devontae's knees could be jelly donuts, and Blue might just stink. All Sanders has to do is win the job to be semi competent. Um, yeah, no, I mean that's fair. That's fair, but I but Javante doesn't get hurt a lot. He just sucks. But if Miles Sanders also sucks, then they could all suck together in one big conglomerate is the problem. But I do get the price is so cheap. It makes sense with the you just buy the cheapest one, right? Ambiguous backfield, give me the cheapest. And I think that's a strategy that generally works out pretty good. So I don't hate that call at all. I'm just not a big believer in Miles, but I still pick him some. I mean, I just picked him right here, but I still pick him some in general too. I'm not totally out. Um, Sanders is more of a game theory thing. Everyone is taking Devontae and Blue, while nobody's taking Sanders, and it looks like he's going to at least be splitting the workload equally. Yeah, no, that's fair. Blue is a knucklehead. Nah, actually though, nah, we're give me a second. Give me a second. Uh, I gotta show you something. Posted by the Blueprint. Um, there we go. Share this tab. Yeah, they gonna feel me real soon. production quiets all of the noise. 100. That's by Dub Blueprint, Jaden Blue. So, you know, before you go saying that, uh, you're gonna feel him real soon. That's all I gotta say to you, Pepper Tony. You're gonna feel him real soon. Let's go back to this tab. Uh, Phil Maffa going to win my Bulldog. Hell yeah, brother. Phil Maffa squad, rise up. Delete this, nephew. Uh, Went with the min triple fun draft. Got to go. All right. Peace out. Thanks for stopping by, JT. Thanks for drafting. Um, so I don't know. I'm probably gonna do. So I can either do like one more draft and do like a puppy. I could do a couple rookies and sophomores, or I could do like a bad bros brawl. If you guys have any preference, let me know. I'm gonna go over my team really quick, and then I'm gonna enter into something else. If anyone has a preference, then put it in the chat. But if not, I'll just figure out when I get back to it. Oh right, it's in regular season. Bad Rose Brawl. All right, so that team, I had a. Let me refresh it so it like actually shows a little correlation. Um, So that team I had a 3-6-7-2. Jaden Daniels, Dak Prescott, Trevor Lawrence at QB. That feels solid. Obviously, have the elite. I mean, all these teams are going to feel super solid. HA and Chase Brown, Alvin Kamara, Dave Montgomery, Jordan Mason, Miles Sanders at RB. Miles Sanders, this isn't the format to pick him. I think he's viable in a normal format. Not in this, probably. But the running back room's fine. You know, it's got depth. It maybe lacks a little bit of upside. Like, A-Chain has it, but I don't know if these other guys have the upside to compete with this real like super team room. Um, Receivers solid, you know, Lamb, BTJ, Terry, Tet, Pickens, Hunter, Diggs, and they're all stacked up and stuff too. So that feels as good as it needs to be. And then tight end is super solid. It feels like my running backs are the only real weakness. They maybe lack a little bit of the upside season long. Um, but everything else feels pretty good, and I got some decent stacks and bringbacks and stuff, so pretty happy with it. I mean, all the teams look great though, so it's hard to say. Um, it's easier just to kind of pick out like what's the like some of the issues, like maybe my running back room was the issue. It's really hard to like review them. They're all so great. Um, Crossface, Yo Hartman, how you doing, brother? Hey, doing pretty good. How about you, Crossface? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Um, All right. So, we're gonna do. Well, I'm only gonna be on for like probably another half hour, 45 minutes. I'll do just a couple like rookies and sophomores like back to back. Um, because that'll be good. Then I can do a couple drafts and stuff, couple more. Um, that'll be pretty fun. Uh, Sorry, I didn't really do a count. I didn't even really think about it. I just clicked enter. I wasn't sure which one, but these are super quick, and I'm gonna do a couple in a row. So if any of you guys do want to hop in one, then you'll have a chance to for sure. But yeah, I've really been enjoying these rookies and sophomores. I think I'm about 50 deep now. I think it said I had 102 left. So I'm about just under 50 deep. I've been having a good time with these. I think I'm not gonna do too much more after I hit 50. I might do a couple, but I did notice it was filling pretty quick. Like rookies and sophomores is at 70%. It might fill like early next week, so maybe I'll push up to like close to 75. Oh yeah, and I've been doing a bunch of like slows too. Sadly, very sadly for me. Um, I can't even find it. Uh, but yeah, I've been doing a lot of slows. Oh, there it is. Um, which is really unfortunate. I'm not a big fan of doing the slows, but it's like it's fine. It's the only way to get in volume on some of these. Like I didn't have enough time to do 20 of the German Shepherd super flexes, but I wanted to do them because I think they are good EV, but I don't know, just with how quick stuff's been filling lately, it's so hard to get the volume in sometimes. Like on some of these contests, it's so hard to get the volume in before it just closes. So I've started doing some of the slow drafts, unfortunately, but you know, mainly just the German Shepherd. So I did the German Shepherd Superflex. I did the Dalmatian slows. The Bulldog I did as slows. Um, I did some Chihuahuas as slows. I probably shouldn't even done those, but and I did some rookies and sophomores as slows. Um, but yeah, just trying to lay down some of the volume on them. I don't want to like be rushing through them like multi-tabling and just building bad teams. So that's just kind of what I did. I did a bunch of slows. I don't love it, but it's fine. Especially the rookie and sophomore slows really aren't bad. They end in like 3 days. So they're really not too bad. And the player pool is so limited, like it's only a 4-man with a limited player pool. You can make your picks pretty easily. Um, but yeah, doing some of the slows, like I'm just not a big fan, but I did kind of crossover. I probably have about like 30 open or so. We're gonna grab Drake May, Caleb here. So we started Hampton Neighbors, which feels good. Have a strong running back one, strong wide receiver one, and now I have a strong QB room, strong QB room. So they can't really do anything to hurt my QB room now. And then I can just kind of maybe while they're catching up, like I can pick off like Trevion or Rome, Ricky, stuff like that, and just kind of build out my stacks, build out my team while they're kind of catching up on quarterback and stuff. Um, yeah, like so. See, this guy just double tapped, so he had Nick's JJ Ward. So then this guy only has Jaden, and this guy only has Penix. Um, so I guess I'll take Trevion because he's the top rated running back. This guy's probably more likely to take him. Obviously I want Trevion and Rome, but I think he's more likely to take Trevion than Rome. I mean, he took Caleb, so looks like that was probably right. He took Rome, so maybe not. We'll grab Travis, or no, we're not gonna grab Travis Hunter. I'm gonna grab Ricky for the bring back. I think Travis Hunter could be a good pick there too, obviously, but I kind of want to build out like a Bears Niners thing. Um, I'm not super into Travis Hunter. I think he's a fine pick, but I think he has the upside to pay off, but I'm just not super into it. I understand that's like kind of debatable, but it's just not a player I'm like super into. Ricky is a player I'm super into. I mean, I have like 15.5%. Yeah, I think he could be the breakout player on that Niners offense. All right, let's see what's available here. So we grab Luther Burden. His price is kind of high in this actually. It's surprising to see him go ahead of Keon, Trey Harris, Tyler Warren, guys like that. But we'll just grab him to lock in our stack. His ADP is a little surprising. I do think he fell a little, but I think maybe his new contract kind of held him up. Um, Now we could go Scadaboo here or Tracy. I like some of my other options at running back. So what I'm hoping for here, I'm hoping to get Kyle Williams, and then I'm hoping to double tap RB because I feel really good with my top two. So that'll feel pretty good if I can get Kyle Williams, finish this receiver room, and then I can get two more running backs after that. Okay, Kyle Williams goes, which is fine. It's not that I love him as much like as a player. It's more just that he fits with the Drake May really well. Scadaboo going actually kind of sucks more. We'll take Tootin though. I have a lot of Tootin in this. I like him. I think he's kind of a tier above the rest of these guys. So I feel good getting him there. We still got 3 more picks, so we might. We're definitely gonna just grab receiver and running back. We're not really looking at QB. Um, so I mean, I like Dylan Sampson. I like Ray Davis. Either one's good. I don't really have very much Dylan Sampson, so we'll just grab him. Um, and then we could be done at running back here. and I could take 2 more receivers, or I could take 1 more of each. Either one would be fine. Um, Probably 1 more of each, but it could be 2 receivers. One of the 2 though. Um, but yeah, I think that feels pretty good overall. With I think I feel pretty good overall with this build. Um, and then oh yeah, I did want to kind of look. So like this guy at the one spot, he got Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy, Cam Ward. So then you see the guy at 2, he has Jaden, and then he doesn't even have a QB2 for his bye week. And then the guy at 4 has Michael Penix and Tyler Shook, and that's it. Um so you can see how that kind of hurts their teams. Um okay, and then the guy at 4 or what was this guy? Oh, the guy with Jaden also grabbed Jackson Dart. Um we'll grab Jack Bash here, probably. Yeah. Let's grab Jack Bash because he's a bring back on my Malik Neighbors. And he's also just kind of falling super late. Like, I don't know, just tack on some upside at the receiver room. And then here we can either go receiver, running back again. We could go Mason Taylor. We could go Jalen Coker. Jalen Coker is a scroll down I really like in this format. Um, I think he goes like undrafted almost every time. His ADP is 47.9 and a 48. The draft goes to pick 48. So like I think Coker is a good late round just kind of dart throw. AO Manor if you have Ward. Um and then at RB, I mean Jaden Blue's still on the board, which is kind of surprising. But like I like Taj Brooks, I like Blake Corum. We're gonna let it take Coker. Um, Jarquez Hunter's good, DJ Giddens good, Shipley. But and see, you see, with Shipley, his ADP is 47.2. So he's actually getting drafted a decent amount. But once you get to Giddens, Giddens and Jarquez are 47.8. But after them, these guys are almost completely undrafted. Like Taj Brooks 48, JCM 48, Devin Neal 48, Trevor Etienne 48. So those guys can be pretty good, just low owned pieces. I mean, they're backup running backs, right? Yeah, Taj Brooks isn't taking over Chase Brown's job, but if Chase Brown gets hurt, Taj Brooks could be the league winner. Blake Corum, Jarquez Hunter, DJ Giddens behind JT, right? These are low owned guys in this format that could really smash and hit your lineup. Obviously, in this one, I went more with the later receivers. Um, but I think these running backs are really good, like scroll downs too. I think with my build, I feel really, really comfortable with my top 3. So I'm just kind of riding on those. Definitely could have went running back, but I really do like Coker. I think he gives a little bit more juice to my receiver room. And it is only start one running back. So I kind of like the scroll downs when I start Genty maybe, and then I kind of punt it off like maybe RB2's like Tootin, and then I'm just kind of hammering like 2 or 3 of these guys. I kind of like playing some rooms like that too. That works out pretty good. But on this build, we went 2-4-6. We got Caleb Williams, Drake May, feels good at QB. Omarion, Trevion Henderson, Bayshaw Tootin, Dylan Sampson at running back. Feels pretty solid overall. I only have 4, which does make it a little more risky, but I feel like it's a solid enough room that if they're healthy, I feel good with it. Um, Wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, Ricky Pearsall, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, Jack Bash, Jalen Coker. And then obviously Loveland and Burden stacked up with Caleb. Ricky has to bring back. I think my receiver room looks really solid. Malik Neighbors up top. I think Ricky, Luther, Loveland. It's a lot of capital on the Bears, but I also got Caleb, right? So if the Bears suck, my team's kind of dead anyway. So if the Bears are good, I think this is a pretty good combo of the players. Obviously, I could have got Rome. That would have felt even better, but it feels pretty good overall. I like that team overall. It feels okay. Um, all right. I'll probably just rip. I'll rip one more. I'll rip probably 1 or 2 more of these. Um, Oh, so this is rookies and sophomores waiting on one. So if anyone wants to hop in, um, yeah, I'll do two more of these probably. Like I'll do this one, then one more. Then I'll probably call it. I think BBG's starting pretty soon. He's starting in like 20 minutes or so. Um, so yeah, I'll do a couple more of these and then I'll probably call it. I just kinda wanted to hop on for a little bit today. Uh yeah. Or oh yeah, I think I already said what's up, but yeah, what's up, Crossface? Doing good, how about you, bro? Um yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. It filled. All right. So we got the 101. So for me, I'm going Genty. Like we were kind of talking about earlier, like I can totally see why you would take I can totally see why you'd take Jaden Daniels there, but I'm just leaning towards Genty. I think either one's fine. But yeah, I mean they're clearly the top two. And then, then it's kind of just like do whatever. Um So yeah, we'll take Genty here, and then what can I do with that? I could do there's some builds I've been liking a lot actually. I'll kind of see how my second turn goes, but I think there's a build I can try out that I've been liking a lot in these rookie and sophomores. With Genty that'll work out pretty good hopefully. All right, so all right, there we go. That was weird. Um, but yeah, so we'll grab Genty there, and then I'm gonna see how the board falls. We'll kind of see if I can do what I'm planning or not. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think these rookie and sophomore drafts are really fun. I've really been enjoying these. Um, I don't know. I guess they do get a little similar, I guess, but it is really fun kind of trying to like play the room when it's only three other people. I feel like when you're on like a normal draft board, it's so hard to it's not hard to play the board. You can do it, but you're kind of really just playing like your short turn usually. But on this, it's like you can really like play the board, like play against like how other people are drafting. Um It could take Bo Nix or Caleb. I like Caleb more. I've been taking a bunch of Caleb. I'm just gonna take Caleb. Um, yeah, I mean Caleb's just my go-to. Like Bo Nix is obviously his ADP is a little bit higher, but I really like the ability to stack up Caleb. Um, I could have went Drake May too, but I decided not to. I just really like the ability to stack up Caleb. I like it for Drake May too. It was kind of a tough spot to like really stack up my to really like stack stuff up like that. Um because like this guy could have went like Drake May Trevion or something, but I would have kind of had to pull both up. Um so yeah, it made it a little bit tough. Okay, so what my plan is, I'm gonna take a third RB right here, and I'm gonna stop at 3 RBs. I would really like to grab Rome here, but I'm gonna have to grab Cam Ward instead. Because I need a second QB, and Penix has a week 5 bye, or else I would have grabbed him. Um, but these guys both have one QB. I'd imagine one of them is going to take Michael Penix. Yeah. So if one of them would have taken Cam Ward, I could have been left with one QB, which with a week 5 bye, which basically means you have to pick Shuck and then bet that he's going to be the starter week 5 when Caleb's on bye, or else you're done. Rome almost made it all the way back. It's picked right before me, which is unfortunate, but you know, so we'll take Ricky. We got our bring back. We'll just take Golden. We'll just take the top receiver. And then like I said, I'm at least what I'm leaning towards. I don't want to totally box myself in just in case there's a great value. But what I'm heavily leaning towards with this is a 2-3-7 build. This is something I've done a few times. I've been very happy with how these builds come out. Because with this contest, you have to remember it's only start one running back. One running back, two receivers, one flex, one QB. Um, so I only need to start one running back. I have Genty, Hampton, Trevion Henderson. I should be perfectly fine with those three, and then I can just hammer out volume at receiver the rest of the way the whole draft. Um, like here I can double tap Bears if I want. I like Keon a lot. I have a lot of him. Um, I like Keon a lot. I could grab Loveland first. Golden has the same buy too. Um, we'll just grab Burden and Loveland. It's a lot of week 5 buy. We're gonna grab 3 more receivers still, so we should be okay. That fully completes my entire like bear stack, and then with the bring back, this is kind of similar to the last team I built, but it is a little different just in like how I'm allocating capital. You know, that other team had like Malik Neighbors up top and stuff. Um, different QBs other than Caleb. So it is a little different, even though I'm still doing a Bears with a Ricky thing. That's been my most common like stack combo, game stack type stuff. Um, all right, so here, let's go. I guess Kyle Williams feels pretty good. Um, we do only have 2 picks left. Yeah, we'll grab Kyle Williams, and then we could grab Alec. Um, I do kind of like Coker, but I could just grab like Pat Bryant as well. Um, let's just grab Elick and get our stack. Even though I'm sure he wouldn't get drafted until the last pick, I could have waited. Let's just kind of have the room like help us decide. Because I was thinking about Pat Bryant. I was thinking about Mason Taylor, Jalen Knoll. Um, maybe if the room takes away some of the options, that'll kind of help decide. I like all these guys. I mean, these are my exposures in normal tournaments, but as you can see, 18% Coker, 16% Pat Bryant, 12% almost Mason Taylor, 15% Jalen Knoll. Like I take these guys a lot in general, so it's hard to really have much of a preference. I think Coker and Pat Bryant both provide good upside. Maybe we lean Pat Bryant, because I know I've taken Coker a lot in this. So we grab Pat Bryant there. It's grayed out, but I got him. Um, we'll lean him there because I've taken Coker quite a bit. I like Coker in this, but they both have decent upside. They both have downside too. So I want to kind of spread that bet. I don't want to hammer one of them. I don't feel way more confident in Coker than Bryant or even Mason Taylor. Although Mason Taylor's a tight end, so like he probably has more projectable floor, but worse projectable ceiling than those guys. Or like worse potential ceiling, not like projectable, but worse potential and then better floor probably. Um, all right, so in this one I had a 237. It's not going to show the Pat Bryant pick, but that's what I got. Caleb and Cam Ward at QB feels okay. It's a little weaker when Cam Ward's your QB too. But it feels okay. Like I think you're totally good as long as you get out with 2 QBs by Cam Ward. You're fine in this format. You don't have to worry about that. It is on the lower end though, right of the room. But I think it's completely like viable. I'm not too worried about it. RB Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton, Trevion. I really like the three. I think they're really strong. Obviously, you're going more like I'm going more fragile. Because if there's any injuries, it could really hurt. But I think if these guys are healthy, they're all rookies. But I think Genty has a very locked in role. I think the other two have locked in roles, but maybe as like share time. Where I think Genty, out the gates, like he's your RB1. He's your RB1 on a normal team too. So it feels completely fine having those three as long as they stay healthy. And then receiver, Ricky, Golden, Loveland, Burden, Kyle Williams, Elikyle Manor, and Pat Bryant. Um, I think the receiver, right, it maybe lacks just a little bit of that top end ceiling, but it feels good overall. And maybe it does have that top end ceiling if, Ricky or Golden do kind of break out to be the number ones on their offense, right? So yeah, I think the build came together pretty good. I feel pretty good with this overall. Obviously the receiver room, it's a volume base, so it's not like any of the names really wow you, but I think the volume adds up to be enough to be competitive. And everything else looks fine on it. Um, all right. I think I'll rip one more rookies and sophomores. And then I think I'll hop off. Because I did like 3 or 4 of these. So yeah, I mean that'll be kind of cool. That gets me to right at 50 exactly done. Um, that'll be pretty fun. So, all right, I'll count it down quick if anyone wants to hop in the rookies and sophomores. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, plus 3. So yeah, if anyone wants to hop in the rookies and sophomores, go for it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a format I've been enjoying. I mean, I like the speed of the drafts obviously too. Like it's really nice to be able to get a draft done in like I don't know, like 10 minutes maybe. Um that's pretty cool. It's like it seems cool with the different like I don't know, there's not really too many different like combos you can make. I mean, there's always going to be a lot of combos like overall, but in the top end there's not really. So it's interesting with different moves you can do. Like for example, you can't get T Law obviously because he's not rookie or sophomore, but like you can double stack the Jaguars. Um you can do like I was saying earlier, like you can do the giant mega thing with the Bears and the Niners. Um where's the last one? Oh, Loveland, yeah. Yeah, like you can do like Rome, Ricky, Burden, Loveland with Caleb. You can do Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter together, but you can't get the QB, so it's kind of interesting there. And you can do them too. Like you could even get like if you want to bring back or something, you get like AD Mitchell as a bring back on the Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter. Um, See, it's kind of interesting, like the different builds and stuff you can do, different combos to make like game stacks. Like you can do like Jalen Royals with Pat Bryant or with Troy Franklin. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. Like there's a lot of different game stacks and kind of builds you can do that are I don't know. They're just pretty intriguing. Like you can do Trevion, Kyle Williams. You can do them with Mason Taylor. Just maybe stuff like people aren't like thinking about doing as much. Obviously, like Chargers Houston's a big one. You can do Lad with Jaden Higgins and Trey Harris and Omarion, right? So yeah, I mean you can do like a mega stack in that game too. Um yeah, I mean there's a lot of ways to do it in this. All right, so they took yeah. Yeah, they took Genty, so I take Jaden. Uh, that's basically 1 and 2 in this. That's how it goes. Genty, Jaden. Pick whichever one you want at 1, and then the guy at 2 gets the other one. Um, all right, so here I'm gonna go Hampton. I think Bowers is a fine pick too, but you know, like I was saying earlier, running back's a little bit thinner. We'll just grab the running back firepower right there. Um, So they go Bo Nix. I could take Marvin Harrison. That feels pretty good. Could take Drake May. Um, yeah, we've been doing Caleb builds. Let's do a Drake May build. Um, I mean, we might take if Caleb makes it back, we might just take him, kind of try to bully the room at QB. Hit him with the gritty, so to speak. We might okay, but Caleb goes, so that's fine then. We're probably looking at Trevion. If he's gone, we'll take one of the receivers. If Marvin Harrison's there, I might even take him over Trevion. I'm not 100% sure though. I have a lot of Trevion, so I probably would take Marvin over him, but we'll see who makes it. He takes Worthy. He'll probably take a running back on him or a QB maybe. He might take a QB or a running back. Harvey. Yeah, I mean, I think Marvin Harrison is such a tier above the rest of the receivers. I think it's worth it. I do think Henderson's a little tier above Caleb, but I think the difference between Harrison and Hunter is bigger than the difference between Trevion and Caleb, and we get Trevion anyway. Um Now, so okay, so like I could take Trevion here. I could take Cam Ward and eliminate this guy from the pod. Like right now. But I think this guy will do it for me. So I'll take Trevion, and I'm gonna assume that the guy next to me is gonna take Cam Ward, and that will basically eliminate this guy from this pod. Um, he didn't. He didn't. He wanted only one QB. Um, Caleb Williams is his only QB. This guy didn't take QB right there. That is unbelievable. Um, Yeah, I mean, like this team's just gonna be dead because I'm not gonna let Cam Ward get past me at the seventh pick, even if he makes it that far. I'm not even gonna pick him here because the guy on the turn's not gonna pick him. So I'll just take Matthew Golden and and then I'll take Cam Ward because I'll leave this guy with just Caleb Williams week 5 bye, and I'll leave this guy with no QB. He can take Tyler Shuck as his only other option. So obviously that like this is an example where like I spent too much capital at QB obviously, but the amount of damage I just did to these two teams is well worth it. Um because like me and this guy on the turn just hoarded all the QBs, and especially is this team's basically eliminated with no QB other than Tyler Shuck now. They need Tyler Shuck to be like the dude, and they need Jackson Dart to cover his bye. And if Tyler Shuck can't compete with Jaden Drake May, Cam Ward, or Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix, that guy will just be eliminated from the pod. Um, so we're gonna take Jaden Higgins here, I think. Uh just my favorite receiver right there. I like Loveland. I like Burt. I actually like all four of these receiving options. But Jaden Higgins, I think he just has a little more upside. And then we'll grab Kyle Williams. We wanted him last time, and he got picked right before me, so we'll grab him here. And what we'll do in this one is we will grab one more receiver, probably right here. And then we will grab two running backs, and I'll do a scroll down for one of the running backs. Just to get a little bit more unique and stuff. I actually have a guy in mind I can do for a scroll down to end it. That'll be pretty good. Like super low owned. And then the other one we might scroll down, we might not. Okay, so Tyler Warren or Loveland for my last receiving piece. We'll go Tyler Warren. We grabbed a couple Colson Loveland teams already today. I have a lot of Colson Loveland in my portfolio with Caleb, obviously. So just a Warren team. I like both these tight ends a lot. Um, and then we're gonna go two running backs. Um, so we could scroll down a little to like I like Taj Brooks quite a bit. I had another one I thought. Oh yeah, Trevor, yeah. Because who do we have at the top? We got Omarion and Trevion, so we can afford a couple. We can afford a couple zeros down here for some style points. I think we have enough talent up top to afford Trevor Etienne on this team. Um, and obviously, like this happened earlier too, but like with a Jaden team picking those three QBs, you see the damage it does to my running back room being so thin. But I do think my top end talent only needing to start one, it feels okay. And I think just the level of damage, I could do like Samson, call Taj Brooks to scroll down, but we need to do a real scroll down. Trevor Etienne. Um, but yeah, so okay, so this ended up being a 3-4-5 build. With Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Cam Ward, which obviously insane QB room, right? Like way too much capital. Um, RB, Omarion Hampton, Trevion, Taj Brooks, Trevor Etienne. You see the thinness at the RB position, obviously. Hopefully, the top two can cover. They only need to fill one RB spot all year. That's an important thing to remember. So if Omarion and Trevion are healthy, I'm probably okay. That's probably fine, but it is pretty thin, pretty limited. Wide receiver, I have Marvin Harrison, Matthew Golden, Jaden Higgins, Kyle Williams, Tyler Warren. I actually feel really good with that receiver room overall. It's only five, but I feel really solid with all five of them. Kyle Williams probably the least, but he's the stacked one, so that makes sense. Yeah, I really like the receiver room. I think the running back's a little thin, but it's okay if they stay healthy. And then QB, like you see, it's too much capital probably. But then when you look at the rest of the room, right? The guy at one has Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix. So obviously, me and him both have killer QB rooms. The guy at three has Caleb Williams and Spencer Rattler. He is probably taking a 0 week 5. And if Caleb Williams has any down weeks, then that means he's automatically taking that like down week. He might take an 8-point week, a 7-point week. Like, even if Caleb has a great year, QBs have down weeks. And then this other guy, he has Tyler Shuck, Jackson Dart, and Shadur Sanders. So like there's a legitimate chance he does not have a starting QB week 1. I believe Shuck will start. That is my like opinion, but there's a legit chance this guy doesn't have a starting QB week 1. So you see like my capital at QB is a little heavier than it should be probably, but Cam Ward did fall some, and the amount of damage it did to these two is probably worth it in a 1 out of 4 advance. Um, but yeah, I mean, pretty happy with that team, and that's kind of a good strategy. Again, shout out Candyman. He uh, he was kind of mentioning it the other night when we were on together. Um, Never go full gritty yellow. You never come back. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a little. I mean, it doesn't look too gritty because it's Jaden Drake May and Cam Ward. Seems reasonable, but like hopefully you just saw what I was kind of showing. Like that guy's team, it just made it so obvious to take Ward there. Even though like I didn't need Cam Ward, the amount of damage it does to his team to eliminate him out of a 4-person pod when it's already a pod that small, it's worth it to spend a little extra of my capital where I don't really need to. Because I think my team still came out okay. Like I was saying, running back's kind of thin, but you only need to start one. And receiver felt fine, so I felt okay with it. Usually if I'm doing three QBs, it wouldn't usually be with Jaden, but it was just such a good shot to kind of eliminate one of the teams. Um, Paulino, he eliminated himself for you. Yeah, no, for real. Yeah. Yeah, like if you're pushing it that far, like come on. Like I don't really know what the goal is there. Especially like not taking them like at the 2021, like not taking Cam Ward, he went at 26. Not taking them in this turn right here, the 19 to 22. I really don't understand that. I mean, maybe he just thought we wouldn't take Cam Ward from him, but this guy only had Caleb and he picked right before him. So I don't know why he thought Cam Ward was going to make it back. I could get if the guy at 3 thought Cam Ward was going to make it back because I already had Jaden and Drake May, but the guy at 4, I don't know why he did that. Um, but but yeah, I think we did a good amount of drafts today. We probably did like 6 or 7 of these. I did some of the rookies and sophomores. I did 1 or 2 of the badge bros also. I did quite a bit of the rookies and sophomores though, but yeah, I think that's gonna pretty much be it for me today. Um, it was a good time. Good time getting on here chatting and stuff. Hopefully I was able to give you guys maybe some ideas or something you could use in the badge bros or the rookies and sophomores. I've been doing quite a bit of these. I'm 50 rookies and sophomores deep. Badge bros, I'm only like 10 deep, but I'm definitely interested in doing more of those. I've been kind of researching that one. Um, but yeah, rookies and sophomores done quite a bit. So I don't know. Hopefully you guys were able to get some good info, or hopefully it was interesting to see kind of the different formats and stuff. But yeah, and thank you everyone for stopping by. Um, I did just want to say quick in case you're not following any of the people. Typhel Tower stopped by. That's BBG, Emo Cowboy, PBR Tyler, Emo Cowboy, Fantasy Sanctuary, Typhel Tower, JT Best Ball. Me, him, and Candyman all do a stream together on Tuesdays. Oh, and I'm probably gonna stream again tomorrow, or I am gonna stream again tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning, just so you guys know. Um, Boost with it, or yeah. Fantasy Football Garage. He has channel streams most nights. Who Haim streams all through the week. Uh, yeah, and I think Best Ball on Call, he streams too. Really nice setup. Really nice, like really good quality. Uh, have a good night, UFC tonight. Oh hell yeah, dude. Oh, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I'm actually that's kind of why I planned it out. I know BBG's going live right now too, but I was like, I'm getting off before 7 because I'm watching the UFC, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Uh, I'm rooting for Holloway, but I don't know. It's tough. I like them both. I like them both a lot. I'm pretty hyped for the UFC though. That'll be a good time. Hell yeah, crossface. Uh, but thank you guys all for stopping by. I appreciate it. I know you guys hopped in and drafted me, chatted, or just watching, hitting like, whatever. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Peace.